Welcome back, Project Fam. Today I'm going to go over 6 easy steps to keep your Jeep clean and rust free. First step, rinse off the Jeep. So the condition of this Jeep was on a ski snowboarding trip and was going through some snow, and then it had salt. Salt is the worst offender to rusting out vehicles. So don't rush. Take your time and rinse off the vehicle. You are trying to rinse off as much of the salt as possible. Rinse, rinse, rinse. And also you want to rinse off the dirt. The last thing you want to do is to grind, let me say it the right way. Grind that loose dirt into your paint. That is the last thing you want to do. So you want to spend as much time rinsing as possible. Oh, here's an extra step. All right, so I said 6 steps. This is a step that's optional if you have the right equipment. This is an undercarriage wash. We are getting all that salt from underneath your vehicle that will most certainly cause rust. Guaranteed. If you don't get that salt off, it will cause rust. So I have a little tool now. I'll show you a little bit more in the description of where I purchased it and how much it cost. But it's a undercarriage wash connected to a pressure washer. So I'm spending quite a bit of time cleaning the salt off the undercarriage. And you know what? Not a lot of us actually have either the weather or time or location to clean your car. So if you're going through salt, like after a snowstorm, take your car to a car wash and spend a couple extra dollars to get the undercarriage wash. That's what it's called. It's a regular car wash, but you want the undercarriage wash. You want them to spray just like I'm doing here. Spray as much undercarriage as possible. So yeah, I love that tool. Very nice tool. Throughout this entire video, I'm going to be dropping a lot of gems. Here I'm going to show you how easy it is to disconnect with the quick connect. All right, time to add some soap. So what I'm using now is I'm using this ceramic wash by Almirall. I'm not going to say I love it, and that's my foam cannon. I do love my foam cannon, but the soap I don't love. So a lot of the ceramic, which is the coating, the ceramic washes that I use, they don't suds up. And in this case, top line is 10 ounce and 5 ounce. I'm going to go right in between there. The instructions say to add about, I think, 6 to 8 ounces of soap per 32 ounce of foam cannon. So I do like the fact that there are instructions on this soap. I'm just wasting it. Instructions on this soap for a foam cannon like the one I'm using. So I do like that. But as you'll see later, one of the things I don't like is I don't get enough suds. I need suds when I'm washing a car. And that's consistent with a couple of the different ceramic washes that I've used. So there I am. I added some warm water because if I didn't tell you, and you probably see the snow on the side, it's a little cold out there. All right, so I add my top, one hand, of course, and that's going to be my soap that I am going to spray on to the Jeep. Here I am. Let's quick connect. Now that's going to take you a minute to get it as easy as I did. Quick connect. I have to adjust the spray. Nope, that's too sharp. I need a fan. Oh, that's too much of a fan. Nope, too sharp. And just right. There you go. That's perfect. So in this case, I can fan out with a couple of passes. I'm able to put soap on the vehicle. And like I said, it's not soapy enough for me. I need soap. But I'm sure it's doing its thing being a ceramic wash. That's my foam cannon. Got to get behind the Jeep tire. Jeepers know what I'm talking about. All right, nice, steady, slow and steady. You want to apply the soap. The soap is going to help with this cleaning process. So I'm overlapping, not so much, maybe like 20% overlap. Just spraying the soap on as much as the vehicle as I can. Oh, here it is. So in the wheel well, there's a ton of salt. So what I'm doing is I'm spraying inside the wheel well along with spraying the tires. Let's spray the hood, the window. There we go. Oh, this is therapeutic right here. Yes. Therapeutic. Very good. I like that. I like that. Give it a good spray. Give it a good spray and let it soak. All right, so here's another gem time, pro tip. So if you live in a cold weather climate, here's a couple of things you need to wash your vehicle outside. You need the right temperature, and you need not for it to freeze at night. So I'm looking for the perfect temperature, and I found that perfect temperature to be a minimum of 45 degrees outside. So a high has to be a minimum of 45. And the low has to be at least 32 degrees. It can't be anything colder than 32 degrees. If it's colder than 32, in this case, the driveway will freeze. When I close the door in the Jeep, the door sills will freeze. It might even get stuck. And as I'm trying to open the door, I might actually break the weather stripping. So it's a bad thing. All right, so next step 3 is to brush in the soap. If you don't have a brush, yes, you can use a microfiber cloth. But again, work smarter, not harder. A brush makes this job so much easier. In this case, it's a two-part. I have a brush on the end of a long pole, like a pole I get in the paint aisle. It could be a stick. I just know that a long pole really helps to clean the top of the Jeep. And if you're not using a pole to wash or a stick to wash and a brush on the end of the stick, man, you are working too hard. Work smarter, not harder. Next step is to rinse off that ceramic soap. Rinse, 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 rinse. I'll speed it up. Again, you want to take your time and rinse off as much of that soap as possible inside the wheel wells, inside the cracks, right above the running board, on the side of the running board. Like I had salt just caked all up and through there. Definitely want to clean off the wheels. I just found a scuff mark. There you go. Very nice. Looks good. Rinse, rinse, rinse. Then you want to use a blower to blow as much of the excess water off the car, the windows, the rims. This saves a lot of time wiping the water off the Jeep. But if you use some type of, I use a leaf blower. It doesn't have to be a backpack blower, but it could be some type of a blower. It could be a smaller blower, and just blow off the excess water. It does a really good job of getting the water off the windows. And one cool thing about constantly washing with ceramic coatings and having your car ceramic coated is that it's very easy to blow the water off. The water repels or sheds off the car very easily. You can see it blowing there. So that's a pro tip. And I spend a lot of times blowing the water off the glass and off the wheels because I want to make sure that I can wipe the wheels down. And again, I don't like wringing out the rag every second I get. I'm not doing a perfect job. You're not trying to blow all the water off. just like a car wash. When you go through a car wash in that last blow phase, you're not blowing all the water droplets off the car. Just a lot of them, just to make it a lot easier for you to dry the car down, because you will dry the car down. Here we go. That's my ceramic wax and wash. That one works really well. I do like that one. I will drop that one in the description as well as microfiber towels. I do like in 15, 16, 17, 18 inch. The bigger the better. Pet peeve, that rag. I always feel like that little tag on the microfiber cloth will scratch the car. So I always rip them off. There you go. And wipe it down. Wipe. See, I kind of folded it in half. I start with the top of the vehicle. So I'll start with the top and the windows, and I'll go all the way around. All the way around. There you go. And if you notice, I did spray on the glass. I did. It doesn't hurt it. It actually helps it in my eyes. So I wipe all the windows going around, and then I start moving down. You're always cleaning from the top down. So there I am, side mirrors, windows. And I'll tell you a cool thing about using some type of spray and wax, whether it's that one or I think turtle wax makes another good one, is that when you spray it on like plastic panels, it lubricates. It's almost like adding lotion to dry skin. Does a really good job with that. So you don't have to add any shiny additives to make it shine. Like that gas cover or the black bumper, it shines adequately just using that spray and wax that I'm using. So here I am. Now that I went around and I cleaned all the windows, and now I'm just wiping down the body panels one by one, taking your time. And you see, I don't really have to wring out the rag as much because I sprayed the excess water off the car. If you don't have a blower, it's fine. You're just going to wring out the rag a little bit more. And if you have a lot of water and you're wringing the water out, get yourself a bucket, obviously a clean bucket of warm water, so you could rinse that rag and keep that rag warm. Remember, it's 45 to 50 degrees out here. It's cold. Looks good. All right, so before I really clean the wheels, the next step I'm going to do is I clean the inside glass. So I'm using the same rag. It's not totally dry. And what I'm doing is I'm just basically wiping it down. But at some point later, I'll take a dry cloth and I will almost polish that glass clean. So here I am, same thing. Jeepers, you know where all the goodies all the dirt likes to hide on the Jeep in the back. Very good. Clean the inside since I'm there. Yep. This is not a quick and easy wash. This is a wash if you like your car and you're trying to preserve it and you're trying to keep it fairly rust free throughout its life. So there I am cleaning the rear wheel. I wish it was like a 2-spoke, that I wouldn't have to spend all this time. Like, that's a good point. Pro tip, if you're buying your own car and you're buying a car that has a ton of spokes, keep in mind that all of those spokes need to be cleaned. That's why I like the 5 and the 6-spoke, very easy to clean. All right, this is one of the cool things I like. I'm using the same rag. I didn't spray anything extra on it, but you know those vinyl covers and the running board? I just wipe those clean. Using the same rag, nothing special. I didn't even spray anything extra on the rag, but it does a really good job of kind of protecting those vinyl covers and not drying them out. Next step is some type of tire shine, a gel. I do like the gel over the sprays. The gel will last a lot longer after it rains. It might even last 2 weeks. It leaves a nice coating on the tire. So I do like a gel. Squeezing the gel on the applicator, wiping it around. When the tire is dry, it will absorb more of that gel, but take your time. Very nice. And you're going to apply to all 5 tires. That's the 4 on the ground, and especially the 1 on the back of the Jeep. And Jeep tires are pretty big. It's okay to use a little bit of tire gel on the tires. All right, so now that all the tires are done, give yourself a vacuum. I mean, remember, we were snowboarding or skiing. There's going to be some crud. And these are not all weather mats. These are just the standard carpet mats. So there might even be some dried up salt. I'm going to wait until the end of the year before I really pressure wash these mats. But okay. Now this is your final product. You're all done. Just going to do a last walk around. Carpet looks good. Open the doors. Very nice. All the wheel wells are clean. Or the sills are clean. This looks pretty good. This Jeep is ready to go. Ready to go out again. Very nice. And you know what? I did say that I was going to summarize all the products that I use. I will definitely add it to the description, but I think I probably should save that for another video, because it's also very important to have the right tools for the right job. As always, thank you for your support.